Yay!
Look at you.
Throwing.
Hey. Hello.
I'll start because I'm not. Okay. So if Lana had a slogan, if she was running for president in 2016, what do you think that slogan would be?
Oh God, that's a really good one. Why did you ask me a question for which I have to think? What would her slogan be? Her slogan.
Bye-bye.
Her slogan. It would be. I think her slogan would be, "Vote for me, or I'll shoot you in the foot." Or it might be. Lana for president 2016. You'll never have a hotter president. Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about the
Everyone says
the prevalence of females in comedy these days?
I mean, it was an inevitability, wasn't it? You know, and I think it's great. But it's interesting. I mean, I want to come at this like in the most articulate way. Like right now, you know, and like over the last couple of years, there was this big controversy over all these slots that are opening in late night, and how, like, you know, people kind of kept putting up all these like wish lists that they thought should be in those positions, and a lot of people were saying this is the time to put a woman in a late night show. And even though we had Chelsea for a little while, like to put on one of the majors, everybody was kind of gunning for that, or to put a woman in one of the slots on Comedy Central. And I just remember thinking, I don't care who it is. I don't think you do it because you're trying to be diverse. I don't think you do it because you're trying to. I think you do it because there's a huge group of people out there that don't watch late night TV, who would watch late night TV if they saw somebody different in that space. There are a lot of people who would sample late night if they thought, okay, this looks different or interesting, or this perspective is different than what we're getting everywhere else. So to me, the reason that there's been this upswing in women in comedy is because there's just giant bags of money sitting in the street, and people finally figuring out that, like, you need to do more than just deliver the same shit over and over again to capture a new audience. I mean, the more the market fragments, not just film-wise, but especially television-wise, it's so fragmented. How do you get eyeballs? By not putting the same shit on that everybody's putting out there. So it's just an inevitability, like everything else. It's like diversity in sports, or, you know, in the military. I mean, we're just on this kind of inevitable, slow but inevitable track towards parity everywhere, and I think that's good for everyone. You know, it's not going as fast as it should, but it's starting to get awesome, isn't it?
Do you think Archer's ever going to get his act together and be like a good dad?
No. Archer is dead inside and incapable of excelling at anything but fucking. He is very good at that. That's his skill set. If he stops being a spy, maybe he could be she could put him on the street. You know, make a little bit of money that way. Super hot.
Do you think Lana will ever try to find a less dangerous profession, you know, now that she's a mother?
No, I mean, I think that Lana is incredibly ambitious, and I don't think that having a child changed that, you know. And I think that what's been interesting about that is that she's just like, you know, the dynamic of her deciding, I want to be a mother and I'm going to do it without a partner, and then her deciding who the partner is going to be, and her having the child or staying at work, is the same dynamic for a lot of really ambitious women out there,
Right.
which is like, you know, yeah, I had a kid, but I didn't die.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I want to keep moving forward in my life. And she's balancing, I think, the things that all working women are balancing, which is like trying to find competent daycare and trying to find some balance in your personal life, and then trying not to get shot. Pretty much what every working mother is dealing with every day. So you know, maybe the stakes are a little higher for Lana, but I don't think she's going to take it easy. I don't think she knows how to take it easy. She's also the only competent spy on this entire team. If she wasn't there, everybody would get up in the morning and none of their phones would be charged, and they'd be no coffee in the coffee maker, and the lights would be out. So without Lana, they are absolutely useless. And we've proven that, you know, the dynamic between Sterling and Lana is really complementary. I think they sadly really do need each other.
Right.
How early is too early for AJ to get in the spy game?
AJ's diapers are tactical diapers. They are packed with C4, and at any moment she could just fling them at somebody, and they turn into a poo bomb. So she's already in the spy game. Nice. She's got like a blade in her rattle. She's down to go. AJ will shiv you right in your foot. Don't mess with her.
Do you have any advice or words of wisdom for any? Because you're from the Bay Area.
I am.
I'm from Oakland. I traveled. What is kind of like your advice for little African American girls that are wanting to express their geeky side, but are afraid to get picked on, or because I know for me, I didn't express it until way later in life, just because of my upbringing too.
Right.
So what's kind of like your advice for that?
Well, I couldn't help express it because I just was a geek and spent a lot of time alone. And Seth Green was on my podcast and we were saying like a lot of people want to claim nerdery as adults, but you can't claim nerdery if you didn't spend a significant part of your childhood playing by yourself. Right. So I had a lot of like in the backyard with some sticks and rocks and shit. That was like a big part of my childhood. I also did a lot of reading on the bus until it hit the terminal and I woke up like, oh my god, it's 9 o'clock at night and I'm not in my house. So I couldn't help it because I was a nerd, you know what I mean? And I was tall and weird and had glasses and my parents are vegetarians and I was a straight up pariah for a good part of my childhood. But I always say that weird kids make iconoclastic adults. And so, part of not fitting in is that it gives you the bravery to embrace who you really are without trying to conform to what people expect of you. A lot of what I do now, even with my book and with my podcast, is about embracing your own individuality and your own iconoclasty. And I talk a lot about the fact that a lot of what I do is so that like the little black kid who likes heavy metal or the little Asian kid who skates or the Mexican guy who's into goth can feel like they're not alone. Because I did feel like I was alone when I was a kid. But it's so much more interesting for you to embrace the stuff that you're into and not apologize for it. And all the kids that I knew that were super popular and super hot and had lots of boyfriends or girlfriends peaked at 17. All their Facebook pages still have pictures of them when they were 17.
Right.
I'm like, bitch, you are 44. I'll have a photo from now. Let's see what is happening right now. So, it's so dumb. It sounds like an after-school special, but be yourself. It's so much more interesting than trying to be like somebody else.
Amen.
I agree.
Can I get a selfie? Sure. Of course. Okay.
Just one last question, guys.
Go for it.
Are there any skills that Lana has that you wish you had?
The ability to walk around without a bra and have her boobs stay up is really something. I wish I knew what magic trick that was. I'm pissed. They didn't do that when I was 11. What is happening? But I'm as good a marksman as her. Yeah, I think I probably shoot guns better than she does.
Can I get a picture too? Sure. Sorry.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Nice talking with you.
I need a picture of you.